Body cam footage captured the moment that police warned a true crime writer and the wife of a Weezer band member to put down the weapon she was apparently holding in her backyard. By the end of the footage, she has been shot, handcuffed, and accused of attempted murder. We're taking a closer look at the newly released video and what LAPD says happened. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law&Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Well, it's been 3 weeks since Los Angeles police officers confronted a woman in her backyard, telling her to put down the handgun that she was apparently holding. And that woman was identified as Jillian Shriner, also known as Jillian Lauren, a true crime author, wife of Weezer bassist Scott Shriner. Now, LAPD has released portions of body cam and home surveillance footage. And this is important, particularly for law enforcement, because they will claim that this shows support for why officers had to open fire on her, shooting her in the shoulder. Now, this all started on April 8th in a residential area of LA known as Eagle Rock. So the California Highway Patrol, with the assistance of the LAPD, they were looking for 3 suspects who had apparently run away from a hit and run that happened on a nearby freeway. And officers believed that they headed into this hilly neighborhood. So in addition to body cam footage and security video, the LAPD also released 911 phone calls and dispatch communications about the search. Let's start there.
To check the area for the suspect that fled the scene.
Oh, okay, got it.
They said it was 2 black males that was running.
Okay.
And one of them had no shirt.
Okay, CSP request. Okay, the first suspect, the male?
Yeah, they said it's 3 black male adults.
Okay.
One has a yellow blanket around him.
Hold on, 3 male blacks. Okay, about how old is the first one?
They didn't say.
Go ahead with the first description.
One is wearing no shirt.
Okay, number 2?
One is carrying miscellaneous items pretending to be hitchhiking.
Okay, hold on. That's the second person? Or the guy with no shirt? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, carrying.
He's just carrying miscellaneous items, the second person.
Okay. And number 3?
It's a black male adult wearing a yellow blanket around him. And he's asking passing motorists to give him a ride.
Okay.
Now, as I mentioned, the LAPD comes in to assist the California Highway Patrol with the search for the suspects, including from the air, with a police helicopter, sometimes referred to as an airship.
Where's he at? I see him.
Pretty chaotic situation, right? Now, in the release from LAPD, there's home security video that shows a man believed to be one of the hit and run suspects walking around someone's backyard. So a homeowner lets police know that he's seen the suspect.
Hey, sir. He's in the backyard? Where is he at right now? In the other yard? Okay. Do you still see him? Do you still see him? Hey. Yeah, I guess he went hopped on the other side on Eagle Vista. What does he look like?
Black shorts, white top, blue shorts, natural hair.
11X38 is requesting a unit on Eagle Vista 1 east of Waldo.
X-ray officers reporting that the suspect is last seen eastbound on Eagle Vista from Waldo, from the resident's backyard. It's going to be a male black, white shirt, blue shorts.
Yeah. We have units right now going the other side.
Be about jumping through the resident's backyard.
Hey everybody, this is a Law&Crime legal alert. Did you know that children are being diagnosed with serious conditions like type 2 diabetes and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and the research is potentially linking ultra-processed foods to all this? Yeah, well, Morgan & Morgan is stepping in to fight to hold food companies accountable. With decades of experience fighting large corporations, they are ready to stand up for the families who deserve justice. So if your child under 21 has been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes or fatty liver disease, then visit www.forthepeople.com/food or scan the QR code on screen to learn more. Now from there, LAPD officers follow a state trooper up to the house and into the backyard.
Can one of you back me up to go into this house?
Yeah. There's a homeowner that came out.
green also shirt, red, and black hat.
He wants us to. Hey, sir. Hey, give me 1 second. Inside the house right over. Yeah. I think we just go in there. Because he's in there.
They just want to respond over there. He will miss down all day. He was fine there. And also, if there's anyone code 6 with the DHP, if you're able to switch over to one of the Claymores channels, the mutual aid channels, so that you guys all talking on the same frequency.
All right, so to talk about what happens next, I want to bring in California Police Sergeant Kyle Shoberg, who also hosts the Shots Fired podcast. Kyle, great to see you. Thanks so much for taking the time. First, I just want to know, in those situations for law enforcement, responding to a scene like that, what is that like?
It's very chaotic, as you can see in the video. And not only that, you have different jurisdictions working with each other. You got Highway Patrol, LAPD. There's a lot going on. A lot of times with Highway Patrol, actually here in California, you can't communicate with them on the radio. They have their own bandwidth of radio. So working with them actually makes it even more challenging for that reason. And so that's why you saw the one officer asking the LAPD guys to come help them go into that backyard and check whatever it is that he wanted to check. So when you're working with two different agencies, sometimes it can be pretty chaotic and confusing at times.
Are there issues in terms of the terrain, in terms of the neighborhood to respond to that environment looking for suspects? Are there difficulties that present themselves in that kind of specific area?
Yeah, we can see in that neighborhood, there's a lot of hills. Some of those houses, they're huge, big pieces of property. There's all sorts of different threats that those suspects could be hiding under. They could be hiding in. It's a daunting task to be able to clear all those yards. I mean, no stone goes unturned when you're looking for somebody. So you got to just slow things down and take little things chunk by chunk. But yeah, that particular terrain that those officers were operating in, that looks pretty challenging to me.
Well, unfortunately, things don't really slow down. They speed up a lot because now we go to Jillian Shriner, Jillian Lauren, right? So in the next video provided by LAPD, you can see Jillian Shriner come out of her home, walk around what we believe is the front yard, and she appears to be holding a handgun down at her side, which police say is a Glock. And at one point, she appears to look up, possibly at the helicopter that's hovering somewhere over her house. And in the body cam video, you can hear how loud that chopper is. And Shriner looks confused as she tries to figure out what's going on. So she appears to walk around the side of the house and down a couple steps to the back where a fence separates her yard from her neighbors. And that is where multiple officers are staged in their search for the suspects. So before we jump back into the police body cam, Kyle, first part I have to mention, assuming the handgun is legally owned and registered, is there anything wrong with her walking around her own property with it?
No, the only problem that's going to occur is what we'll see next, and that's when you have a group of cops out there looking for somebody, and she's out there with a gun. That's where the problem is going to be. But just her being out there in her own property with her own firearm, no.
Well, I mean, this is the part that I imagine is going to be an important legal issue, and we're going to play the body cam in a second. If she assumed criminals or suspects were on her property, you can understand maybe why she got the gun and was looking around. And I wonder, just something to keep in mind, is this a case of confusion? So I'll tell you what, let's put that to the side. Let's think about that for a second. In the next part of the video, we hear multiple officers yell at Shriner from the other side of the fence, warning her to drop the gun.
Put the gun down! What?
Hey, hold it for me. We got
I have an armed resident in the address Hey, put the gun down! Put it down! Put it down on the ground! Put it down on the ground! Can I help call for a 450 female with a gun? We'll be behind the residence.
Lay the gun down!
Lay the gun down!
We got one that got an armed suspect. Do not! Man, put the gun down!
Put the gun down!
Put the gun down!
She's walking away.
Party's walking in the direction.
Yeah.
She's armed.
Long gray shirt, black hair, black pants. Take the gun in her hand.
Put the gun down!
Yeah, she lifts that gun. Man, put the gun down, okay? Hey, you have cover?
Yeah.
He's appointed. Do you have visual of her?
Yeah, I can't see her right now. The gun's not up.
Ma'am, we're trying to help you.
Ma'am, put the gun down.
Come on with your hands up.
Drop the gun! You're gonna get shot! You're getting shot! It's the police! Drop the gun!
California Highway Patrol.
Drop the gun!
We have one at gunpoint. They are armed with the gun. Put the gun down!
Hey, what is she?
Put the gun!
I can't see from. What is she doing right now?
I have to take the gun back.
She just pointed it.
Hey,
Not enough, but she just lifted it up.
Oh,
she
what she must
Get down, get down!
Shut.
Wow. Okay, so now we actually have another angle. This is from another officer's camera, gives us a different peek, a different angle to the shooting. Take a look.
Put the gun down!
Hey, what is she?
Put the gun!
I can't see from. What is she doing right now?
Stay there.
Hey, she just pointed it. Not at us, but she just lifted it up. Oh, she wrapped it.
Get down, get down! Shots fired.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Officer needs help.
All right, Kyle, back to you. I mean, listen, shots fired. You're in the Shots Fired podcast. What do you take away from that? There's a lot to break down in terms of the environment, what's said, the exchange of gunfire. Talk to us about that.
Well, you just turned an already chaotic situation into almost worst nightmare. I mean, now you're dealing with a homeowner with armed with a gun. They're asking for backup. I'm sure that caused all sorts of confusion for people on scene. And now you shifted all your resources to that. And so they're trying to deal with her. I mean, I've dealt with this before where you're looking for somebody and understandably people get concerned. They come out of their own home and they are armed with a firearm. That's when you tell people immediately, hey, it's the police. Go back inside your house, disarm yourself, whatever you need to do to get the point across that you're there to help them and that you are the police. A lot of times we'll use the helicopter to put out announcements over their PA and let everybody know in the neighborhood, hey, the police are out here. We're looking for a suspect. Give it a clothing description and please stay inside your home and barricade yourself. That's what should have been done. I'm sure they were giving those announcements. So the fact that she came out, her behavior is odd. I mean, they are yelling at her to put the gun down. They did announce who they were. She then racks the gun, points it, and they say she fires at them. And then that's when they return fire. So this is worst case scenario.
I'm going to get to this later, but a neighbor comes out and tells the New York Post that they didn't properly identify themselves. Were they not loud enough saying police or California Highway Patrol? Should they have announced it more? I heard it, but it was from the viewpoint of the body cam. I don't know what the distance was between them, but was there anything where maybe she could not have identified who they were? I mean, there was that fence put up there. It's an obstruction.
I mean, who knows what she can hear inside of her house, right? But the reality is you've got multiple cops out there. You know there's sirens going off. You know the helicopter's up. The helicopter's giving PA announcements over their intercom. So it'd be hard to say you didn't know the cops were out there. All the neighbors
unless she thought they were criminals, unless she thought they were the suspects.
And she could have, and that's why I say, I mean, she had the right to protect herself and her property and go out there with her firearm. But once you start to, I think, realize all that, it would have been a safe bet for her to immediately go back inside, or at least at a minimum, go back inside and call 911 and figure out what is exactly going on and is that really the police. So I guess at the end of the day, I mean, hats off to her for having the courage to even do that. But there could have been something else going on with her too, right? Like they would need to see the toxicology report. Maybe she had something on board to cause her to behave like that. I don't know. But I would say that in the body cam footage, they did say they were the California Highway Patrol, but it was a little bit after they were ordering her to drop the gun. If I were there, I would immediately just announce myself as the police right off the bat.
In all fairness, this is the clip that we saw. I don't know if there was a portion of footage before anything began when they first were there. I will show you one more thing, though. I'm going to show you another thing. I have a few more things to show, but there's another thing. This is a sergeant's body cam. It's included, too, and you can see there's a lot of officers involved in the search for these hit-and-run suspects. There's a lot of shouting about where to look and what to do in the lead-up to these shots being fired. Let's take a look at this, too.
out! We're trying to help you!
It looks like that location is going to be Eagle Vista. The long driveway up in the middle, kind of at the top of the hill between Waldo Place and Eagle Vista.
Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
Find another entryway so we can set up another contact team. Minimum of 4 officers. Get another unit with you. Set up another Hey, Narco. Form up a contact team with these guys. Find another entryway to get a better vantage point. You two maintain there. Just stay there. Suspects behind the door. Just stay there. Is there another entryway? Get down, get down. Shots fired, shots fired.
So again, for whatever reason, she is accused of raising up her weapon, racking it, releasing a bullet. According to police, home security video appears to show Shriner going back into the backyard, holding up the gun. Department zoomed in on the moment they say Shriner racked the handgun, fired one shot. Multiple officers returned fire. Police say she herself was shot, though she appears to look remarkably calm as she walks by the camera, maybe in shock, I don't know. But police say Shriner went back inside her house, stayed there for around an hour. Another woman in the home, who the New York Post reports is the Shriner's babysitter, called 911, and you can hear Shriner in the background of that call.
Oh, there were 3 men. She says there were 3 men, and one of them shot her, and the cops are looking for him right now. They have their guns out, and, I don't know if they found him yet or not, but they told me to not look out the window, so I'm not doing that.
So he's not in your yard. You don't know that he's there?
Well, he was in my yard because that's where he shot her.
Oh, okay.
He shot from the other side? Okay, he shot from the other side of the gate.
Other side. I had my gun.
Okay.
And he said, put down that gun, put down that gun. I said, put down your gun.
Oh,
and
okay.
And then he shot me.
Okay, that's what happened, I guess. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys don't know where he went?
Okay, babe, just please breathe, okay? Okay, how long do you think until someone can be here?
Well, the officers are looking for this man. That's why I'm asking. Do you know where he went?
I have no idea where he went. Where was he when you got shot?
There are 3 men out at the other side of this fence here.
Okay.
So neither Shriner nor the caller seemed to say anything about police officers being there or being involved. This is a new piece of the puzzle here. Kyle, what is your reaction to that call? And also, that other footage where you actually can see the officers looking over the fence, trying to piece together how all this happened. Your reaction?
Yeah, so the poor babysitter, she's probably freaked out thinking that she actually did get shot by the suspect. So she does a good job, calls 911. She's very calm to the operator. You can hear her, Miss Shriner, in the background who was shot. It does strike me as odd that she was shot and didn't call 911 when she went back inside the house. And so that tells me that something's probably is going on. She might be under the influence of something. Maybe she had some alcohol.
Could it be shock? Could it be the shock, your body in shock?
It could be, but I think that'd be very odd to not want to call 911 after you had been shot and involved in this type of encounter, especially if you thought that the suspect that the cops were looking for was the one that shot you. So there's things that are not making sense to me in this whole thing. But nonetheless, the officers are up over the fence. They're trying to get her to drop the gun. She does retreat back inside the house. Over an hour goes by. The babysitter ends up, I guess, realizing that she had been shot, calls 911, and they're trying to get this all sorted out. It just adds another layer of confusion when now she calls 911 and says that, hey, the homeowner, this house that I'm at, she has been shot by the suspect. I mean, this is just completely spiraled out of control, this entire situation. There's so much going on. You can tell the delay from the time the dispatch gets a call from the caller to the time they enter all the notes in the CAD. There's all these things going on in the background. Then they relay all that information to the cops. And so this whole thing is just kind of spiraled completely out of control.
And both Shriner and the babysitter come out of the house and they were arrested.
Hey, she's shot. She's shot on her arm. Do you want to cuff her? Do you want me to cuff her? Okay. Which are they handling in the background?
Now, thankfully, no officers or other bystanders were injured during the course of all this, but the LAPD released photos of the 9mm Glock that they recovered from the home, as well as a spent shell casing near the backyard. They also included photos of a wound to Shriner's shoulder. Just too graphic, we're not going to show it here, but she was taken to a hospital to get checked out. She was booked in absentia on suspicion of attempted murder and posted a $1 million bond. Now, a neighbor who spoke to the New York Post, I said this before, basically said Shriner couldn't see the police behind the fence, and she'd already seen a man jump over it into her yard and thought that more suspects might be not too far behind. In fact, the neighbor claimed that the police didn't properly identify themselves. So, Kyle, again, this goes to this explanation about why she may have done what she did. But she was booked on that suspicion charge.
She was
attempted murder of a police officer. My gosh.
Yeah, those are serious crimes to be booked in jail for. And so, look, she's going to have her day in court with her lawyer. They're going to have to hash all this out. The body cam footage, her video surveillance footage, these are all key pieces of evidence. The officer statements that they give during their interviews, all of that is going to be determined on whether or not they do move forward with these charges. But, you know, it's a very complex case. These things don't happen all the time. And I don't know where it's going to go from here. There's a lot that has to be done before this all goes to court.
Do you think it's strange, though, at the time of this recording, our understanding is the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office hasn't indicated a charging decision at this point. Is it strange that we see no activity there?
No, not at all. I mean, when you have a serious crime like this, the DA needs to get everything, all facts, evidence, everything put together. And sometimes these things do take a little bit of time to then move forward with the district attorney's office to either prosecute, or they'll decide to dismiss the case, or they may drop the charges down to lesser included crimes. And so it's not unusual. It does take time. They need probably her toxicology reports to come back, all sorts of different things. And so I think this won't be the last we hear of it. And moving forward, I mean, this could get very interesting.
Well, yeah, and I'll even be more specific about this. According to CNN, the LA County District Attorney's Office said that a case has not been presented to their office for filing consideration. So interesting to think about there. Also, one day after his wife's arrest, Shriner's husband, Scott Shriner, bassist for the band Weezer, as I mentioned before, told the New York Post, "She's all right. Thank you for asking. See you at Coachella." And Shriner herself has not commented publicly about the shooting or her arrest. By the way, one of the suspects allegedly involved in the hit and run was found, cited, released, according to the LAPD. But this footage, this audio, definitely provides a lot more context and possibly more answers as to what happened that day. What a situation. Kyle Shoberg, thank you so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it. All right, everybody, that's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, please subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you should get your podcasts. I'm Jesse Weber. I'll speak to you next time.